Hello there. Thank you very much for joining me. It's Mohammed Fahim. Very, very warm welcome and very, very warm hot day in summer as well. Today's lesson is about weather. There are two aspects of this lesson. First, this section and the half of this section covers certain questions, certain exercises, grammatical notions, and daily expressions that are used in conversational English or daily English. And this section particularly focuses on IELTS questions and IELTS discussion as well. Overall, the whole thing on the whiteboard is useful for conversational English students and IELTS students as well, because whenever you want to appear for an IELTS examination or any other examination, or even want to improve your language skills, you need some knowledge, you need the information, you need the data to speak on. So let's move to our whiteboard and see what the topic is about and how much challenge is there in this very topic. Weather and seasons, we all know about it. Weather is basically atmospheric conditions, atmospheric state. Atmosphere is from it's from the atmosphere, it's from the environment. So weather has a direct link with the environment, and environmental changes affect the weather. So again, weather means atmospheric conditions, state of atmosphere, whatever name you want to give it. And now the first startup story. Whenever you want to start a topic, whenever you want to start the conversation with anybody on a certain topic, you need to tell a story. As I have been doing this since last few videos, to give an idea that what the topic can be about and how we can say different things about our topic, particularly by using different types of lexical resources. And the storytelling, it also gives us a chance to initiate something that we have in ourselves. And grammatically, we can say that we also express our emotions in a cohesion way, and the person can understand that everything is in arranged order. So let's move to our topic. We start by a story, and then we have warm-up questions as well, vocabulary words as well. So we can say that today is very hot, or it's very warm, and particularly in my region where I live, because it's almost 44 centigrade, 44 degrees. And I like you can use different type of vocabulary words to express your feelings, that I like cold weather, I like warm weather, or I like a weather which is neither hot nor cold. So personally, I like cold weather because it gives you a chance to go out to roam about, and weather also puts positive impact on your personality as well. And if you feel motivated, you feel energetic, and you want to do different things if the impact of the weather on your personality is positive. And then you can narrate or compare the past weather condition when you visited a place. For example, if I say, I remember that about few years back I was in London, and the weather in June and July was absolutely marvelous, because you cannot predict when the rain is coming in England because of its weather situation. And so it was really great because I was wearing a jumper or a jacket, you can say, and it was I think 10th of June, something like that, and I never felt that it's a summer. And when I went to Highland in Scotland, I came across absolutely a different weather, a cold weather in the month of June, and I was shivering at a certain place, especially when you cross Inverness. Inverness, there's a small city that comes after Aberdeen city, and I never expected that the weather would be so cold in the month of June. I had to drink a lot of coffee to keep myself warm, and suddenly the cloud thundered, and I saw the flash of light as well. So it was a lightning, and then the rain started. This is the weather of the north of United Kingdom. So this is how, जब आप ऐसे स्टोरी सुनाएंगे, स्टोरी क्राफ्ट करेंगे, स्टोरी बेसिकली आप बनाते हैं, आप क्राफ्ट करते हैं टू इंस्पायर अदर्स और just to express your opinions. Excuse me. and it gives you a chance to share your emotions as well, because when in storytelling, when you involve your emotions, this means you can outperform others in storytelling. So we move to our lesson. Again, these are warm-up questions. Let's see what are the warm-up questions. First of all, what's the weather like today? And I just said in my story, the weather is very cold, or weather is very warm, or weather is very hot. Whatever the weather condition is, you can mention that. And then, do you like hot or cold weather? It's all about your choice, all about your liking and disliking, about your preferences. About your preferences, that I like cold weather, I like hot weather, I like neither cold nor hot, just you can say in the middle of all these things. And then another question, which season do you like the most? Is about seasons, because weather changes because of the season. If it's summer, obviously it's hot. If it's autumn, obviously it's neither cold nor warm. It's winter, it's really cold. And if it's spring, obviously it's a pleasant, and sometimes it's a little bit cold as well. So you can tell about the liking, your liking is about the seasons. And then we have another question, does weather affect your mood? Definitely weather affects the mood. If it's really cold, obviously maybe you shiver sometime in cold weather, but the positivity increase in cold weather. This is not the case with warm weather, because especially if you are from certain geographical location like Pakistan, India, or from the Middle East, then obviously you can say the weather is extremely hot in summer, and it negatively affects your mood as well. And then we have another question, what's the hottest place you visited? The grammatical notion in this sentence is about past, so you need to mention something which belongs to past, that how was the weather like in the past when you visited a particular place. Now we have weather expressions. Weather expressions, actually you can use these sentences and can shuffle vocabulary words and change vocabulary words to express your emotions as well, or express your interest about weather. For instance, it's raining heavily. The sentence tells us about the raining is going on and it's very bad. It's raining heavily. The weather is, and the blank, the weather is humid, the weather is windy, the weather is hot, lovely, fine, good, bad, scary, whatever the word you want to use it. So this is how you can create sentences by yourself as well. Now we have another sentence, it's extremely humid in summer. So this is a sign that in summer the weather is extremely humid. I think it's for Karachi as well, and now it's in my city, despite the fact we don't have ocean. Karachi, it has a beach and everything. Now it's extremely humid in summer. You can say it's extremely hot in summer. It's extremely cold in winter. It's extremely pleasant in summer or in winter or in spring, whatever the weather you want to mention. Now we have another sentence. The strong wind is blowing. And we can finish the sentences here. This means बहुत तेज हवा जो है वो चल रही है. The strong wind is blowing outside. If you use the word outside, this means you are inside someplace. You are inside. For example, you might be in a room, you might be in a home, you might be in another place. So it's just an inside mean. Inside mean that you are inside a place under a shelter, while you are talking about the outside. Now we have another sentence. We are having a heat wave if the weather is extremely cold. Warm winds are blowing. It's called heat wave. We can say we are having a heat wave, or we are facing a heat wave, or we are suffering from a heat wave in our area. So this is how you can change sentences. The temperature dropped suddenly. If the temperature drops suddenly, this means it's very cold weather. If the temperature increases, this means the weather is very hot. Now we have another exercise. This is about seasons. Seasons, we all know spring. It's all about the good weather, the very pleasant weather. When sometimes it's rain, sometimes fast wind blows, and you feel positivity. And we have summer. It's all about warm weather, hot weather, scorching heat. You can say scorching heat that kills you in a way. It's very warm. And then we can say autumn. Autumn, sometimes you feel sad, sometimes you feel it's all right. And then we have winter. And the winter is very short nowadays in Pakistan. Maybe maximum 15 to 20 days winter. It used to be 3 months long or 4 months long. I remember when we used to go to school. The winter used to start about at the end of September, and it used to last or continued up to at the end of February and even in the middle of March, but now the weather has changed completely. Now we have vocabulary, and it's just some words are very common, some are good. For instance, heat wave, we already know when the weather is very hot and the wind is blowing, it's about heat wave. Everybody feels the pain of the hot weather. We have a drought means dryness, no water, nothing. Fields and crops, they just shattered. And then we have flood. Thunder obviously it's a sound of when scientific phenomena in the weather takes place and you feel the thunder in the air. Lightning is about flashlights. Hurricane is windy atmosphere, severe winds that come from the ocean as well, so it's hurricane. Scorching heat is unbearable heat. Freezing is all about cold. Torrential rain, this means the heavy rain. Harsh weather, climate change. Pleasant weather, beautiful or terrible weather. Awful heat, this means bad heat. And we have perfect weather. Sunny, when the sun is out and the day is very bright. Cloudy, this means clouds are everywhere in the sky. And then we have a rainy day. Foggy, it's all about fog है जो कि धुंध कहते हैं, जिसे smoke, some like fog, like a smoke, not fog. Fog is not smoke. Smoke is also just like a fog. So humid है, you feel like very strange weather. You feel warm, you feel dryness, you feel really strange precipitation, like जब पसीना आता है. We have a dry weather, boiling hot, जिसमें चीजें boil हो जाती हैं. So it's all about like this. And now we have grammar focus, sometime routine expression, जिन्हें आप अगर routine में कुछ चीज express करना चाहते हैं weather के बारे में, so you always use present indefinite or present simple to understand the 5 main characteristics like habit, routine work, consistency of something, repeatability यानी जो चीज बार बार होती है, and then the action that's naturally good or true. So it's all about present simple or present indefinite. You can watch this video on my YouTube channel and Facebook as well, English for everyone, and on Facebook it's English with Fahim. So it rains a lot in England. This true. It's true. So when it's true, when something happens again and again, this means it's a present tense, present simple or present indefinite, whatever name you want to give it. So summers are extremely hot in Pakistan. In Pakistan में summers जो हैं extremely hot होती हैं. It's true as well. So when you talk about truth, when you talk about consistency or repeatability of an action, is always present indefinite, and you also can express your emotions in present. Winters are short in Pakistan, no doubt about it. And if you want to express some of the emotions about weather, you also can use the present continuous tense or present progressive, we also name it. You also can watch a video about tenses on my channels as well. It's getting colder. This means cold is cold, colder, a little bit extra cold, a little bit more cold. This means it's getting colder, it's getting darker, it's getting hot. The weather is changing rapidly. This means the weather is unpredictable, is changing. Now we have two things. First, we know that it's about present continuous tense, but we also know that the weather is colder. Here is ER, here darker ER, and then we know it's a degrees of comparison. We also call them comparative degrees, and there is a short lesson on degrees of comparison on degrees of comparison on my YouTube channel as well, with brief detail. And remember why I recommend these videos. It does not mean that that I just want to say something that it's unique. No, I want to just elaborate on that there are certain unique things that can make your process of language learning easy, because they are to the point, not in Urdu, in English, and they are from the English society as well. So after this, now here is a section. It's IELTS section particularly. You know, in IELTS examination or in any other language examination, they ask you a question and they want you to answer in detail. with more explanation, with more detail, with eloquence, जिसमें फसाहत और बलागत होती है. So this means from फसाहत और बलागत, this means they want you to interpret in detail, interpret the question, interpret your answer, your ideas in detail. And we have another section today. It's about discussion questions. Discussion questions are always third part of IELTS examination as well. Now let's see what type of questions are there. What kind of weather do you like? It's almost the same that's here. You can say I like every type of weather or every kind of weather, but I prefer winter, because in winter I feel motivated because I can go out and I can stay at home as well, and then I can do different types of activities. I feel like winter has a positive impact on my personality. That's why I prefer winter. This is a longer answer than the normal. That's what IELTS examiner wants to hear you from. And then we have another question. What's the weather usually like in your city, in your country, or in your hometown, whatever the weather? The weather is normal. It's normal for most of the year, but for 3 to 4 months it's extremely hot from May till end of September, because normally from May we have a temperature that's about 43 or 44 degrees, and in June and July scorching heat, because we experience 49 50 degree heat as well in my area, because it's in the deep in the deep of the southern of the province where I live. And then we have another question: does the weather affect your daily routine? Yes, surely, because normally it's not, but in summer definitely it affects my routine, because it's very hot even from the 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's very hard to travel, because if I do a job, or if any person does a job, if I do a job, then I have to travel from my city to another city about 50 to 60 kilometers in public transport, and the transportation is not very much good as well. Or even if I have to ride on my motorbike, then obviously it's very hot in the morning, and when I come back in the evening about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, then it's catastrophic for me, because at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock the weather is very harsh as well in terms of hotness. So I would say that it affects my routine. Do you often check the weather forecast? Normally not. But if it's a rainy season or a monsoon season, then definitely I check the weather forecast if I have to leave somewhere, whether it's a rainy day or not, because the public transport availability is a problem, because weather affects the availability of public transport, because I live in a very small town. And then we have another question: what season do you enjoy the most? You can tell about the likeliness of your season. We have: has the weather changed in your country in recent years? Yes, the phenomenal changes, I would say, because the climate has changed. It wasn't hot. It wasn't hot as it is now. Compared to the past, about 15 years ago, it wasn't as hot as it is now. The maximum temperature used to be about 45, 44, something like that. But now 49, 50 and 52 degrees is a normal temperature in June, July and August, and even May as well. And secondly, we cannot predict, because hailstones are regular now in Pakistan, and you cannot predict what type of weather is going to come, because the sky is clear and it suddenly gets dark, and the snow and the hailstones start. And this has happened last year as well, especially in big cities like in Islamabad and in northern areas of Pakistan, where different property damage were reported as well, like cars and other things as well. So weather is absolutely unpredictable, and the climate has changed the weather as well. Now we have another question: would you like to live in cold country? If you ask me this question, I would say absolutely yes, I would like to live in a cold country, because I love cold, but not as cold as it is in Siberia or in Antarctica. I would say the cold, because I have lived in a place where the temperature was minus 14, minus 15. It was a normal, even minus 20 as well. So it was normal for me. I love cold weather. And now we have discussion sections. Discussion section is all about cross questioning. Sometimes they ask you a question and then you have to respond. And from your answer, they get a point, and they use that point to brainstorm some ideas, to capture you, to understand the use of lexical resources that you do, to understand cohesion and coherence when you talk about an idea or you talk on a topic. And they want to understand how much eloquence you have, how confident you are to speak on a particular topic. So this is why discussion is really important. So we have questions. Is climate change affecting your country? Obviously, you can say yes, it's changing. We have discussed it here. Which countries have the best weather? I'm not sure, because the likeliness of weather depends on everyone's own mood and likeliness. So however, you can prepare answer as much as you can, as much as you want. Do you think the weather influences the personality? Yes, we have talked here in warm-up questions. We have talked here the weather definitely influences your personality. Should schools be closed during harsh weather? I'm not sure. I can't say anything. But in reality, if the weather is really hot, especially in Pakistani region or Indian region, or even in Gulf regions, obviously most of the time we have 3 months holidays, but now they have reduced it because of study impact due to different reasons. Now they are reducing the holidays, but still we have about 2 or 2.5 months holidays in our schools as well. We have another question, and that's how can people protect themselves from heat wave? That's the question that demands a lot, because they want to explore different ideas from you. They want to know that how much capability, how much creativity you have in terms of making new ideas or in terms of generating new ideas. To answer such a question, you need a paper. When you are preparing for your exam, you need to draw a circle, as I drew in friends, in environment, in appearance topics, and then you can say what affects heat wave. For example, how you can protect. You can protect by drinking a lot of water. You can protect by staying in shade. You can protect yourself by avoiding traveling during the daytime or when the sun is blazing. And you can protect yourself by wearing protective gear like hats and glasses, something like that, like gloves on your hands, because when you travel by bike or you ride, obviously it's very horrible. It's very horrible. And then there are other things. You can reduce your consumption of oily foods or spices. So this is how draw a circle, note every point, and then discuss it with your partners, colleagues, or friends, and improve your capacity. Thank you very much for joining me. It's Mohammed.